What if you encountered a ghost child in your own home? The thought alone is enough to send shivers down your spine. Imagine the small footsteps echoing in the silence of midnight, a faint giggle slipping through the darkness, yet no child lives there. That night I sat alone in my new apartment, the one I had just moved into after months of searching. It was a modest place, a little worn down, but affordable and close to work. The landlord had been strangely eager to sign the contract, almost too eager. At first, everything felt normal. I unpacked my belongings, made a cup of tea, and tried to ignore the faint creaks of the old wooden floorboards. But as midnight approached, a chill swept through the air. It wasn't the kind of cold from a draft, it was sharp biting, as though the air itself had turned hostile. Then came the sound: pitter-patter. Pitter-patter, small, hurried footsteps. They echoed from the hallway just beyond my living room door. My blood ran cold. I lived alone. Heart pounding, I opened the door. The hallway stretched out in silence, dimly lit by the flickering bulb above. Nothing, no one, only the echo of my own breathing. But as I turned back into the room, I froze. On the floor, just beside the couch, were faint, wet footprints, tiny, as though left by a barefoot child. They led across the wooden floor, and stopped right in front of the bedroom door. My throat tightened. Every instinct screamed at me to leave, to run down the stairwell and never come back. But I couldn't move. It was as if the apartment itself was holding me there, forcing me to witness what came next. The door creaked open by itself. Darkness pooled inside the bedroom, thicker than it should have been. And from that darkness came a soft sound, the unmistakable giggle of a child. I whispered to myself, "This can't be real." Yet the sound grew louder, closer, until it felt as though the child was standing right beside me, unseen but undeniable. I didn't sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I heard the faint patter of tiny feet circling the apartment. The laughter, sometimes playful, sometimes hollow, echoed in my ears. When dawn finally arrived, I was drenched in sweat. I told myself it must have been my imagination, some trick of fatigue, yet the footprints on the floor were real. I wiped them away the next morning, only to find new ones forming later in the evening, always wet, always leading to the bedroom. Desperate for answers, I asked the landlord if anything strange had ever happened here. His smile faltered for a moment, his eyes darting away before he muttered, "Old buildings make noises. Don't think too much." That answer only made me more suspicious. I went to the local library, searching through archives and newspapers. It didn't take long before I found it. A yellowed article dated 20 years ago. 7-year-old boy found dead in apartment hallway. Cause of death undetermined. Neighbors reported hearing laughter and footsteps the night before. My stomach turned. The article described the exact floor where I lived. The boy's photograph stared back at me, around eyes, crooked smile. I could almost hear the same laughter in my head as I looked at his face. That night, I tried to confront the spirit. I spoke aloud into the apartment, voice trembling. "I know you're here. What do you want?" Silence. Then the sound of something rolling across the floor. I turned toward the noise. A small toy car had appeared in the middle of the room, its wheels still spinning. I hadn't seen it before. I didn't own any toys. My breath caught in my chest. The air grew heavy, pressing down on me. From the corner of my eye, I saw movement, something darting behind the couch. Summoning all courage, I grabbed my phone's flashlight and shone it. Nothing there, just shadows stretching unnaturally along the wall. But when I lowered the light, the toy car had moved. It now sat right at my feet. My phone slipped from my hands. As it clattered to the floor, the screen lit up, showing the reflection of a child's face behind me, pale, hollow-eyed, grinning. I spun around, nothing, just the empty room. But the toy car began rolling again, slowly this time, as if being pushed by invisible hands. It stopped at the bedroom door. The door creaked open wider. The laughter returned, louder now, echoing in every corner. A chill raced down my spine as I realized. This child did not want to play. He wanted me inside that room. My hands trembled as I reached for the doorframe. Darkness spilled out like smoke, thick and suffocating. For a moment, I thought I saw a small silhouette standing within, motionless, waiting. I slammed the door shut, the laughter cut off instantly, replaced by silence so deep it made my ears ring. I pressed my back against the door, heart hammering, knowing I had only delayed the inevitable. The night outside grew heavier, pressing against the windows, as if the darkness itself wanted to seep into the room. Min's hands trembled as he clutched the candle, the only fragile light between him and the shadows. Suddenly, the door creaked open on its own, revealing nothing but the corridor drowned in blackness. A foul smell, like rotting flesh, drifted into Min's stomach, twisted as he forced himself to step closer. Whispers slithered through the air. "You shouldn't be here." The voice was neither male nor female, but layered with echoes of countless souls. Min's knees buckled. In the corridor, he saw them, faces half-formed, bodies translucent, crawling on the walls and ceiling. Their eyes burned white as they gnashed invisible teeth. Min screamed, but his voice was swallowed by the void. The candlelight flickered, and with each flicker, the ghosts drew nearer, reaching skeletal hands toward him. He stumbled backward into the main hall. where the altar now blazed with blue fire. The portrait of the nameless ancestor glared at him, eyes moving, lips curling into a sinister grin. "Your blood will feed us," the portrait whispered, though its lips barely moved. The candle went out. Darkness engulfed everything. The last thing Min felt was a cold, wet hand clutching his throat. The screen fades to black. A chilling silence. Then, a final echo. "You should never have entered." Since that night, the boy hasn't appeared again. But sometimes, in the quiet hours, I hear faint giggles behind the walls. The toy car never moves, but I don't dare throw it away. Maybe he's gone, maybe he's still watching. I don't know. But one thing is certain. Once you've encountered a ghost child, you'll never forget. Have you ever experienced something like this? Share your story in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. And if you want more terrifying encounters like this one, don't forget to subscribe for the next chilling tale.